Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Rags to Riches on the Sorceress run. On the first part, we covered our normal and nightmare playthroughs, ending on Shank and Eldrich. And we found the Vile Husk, which is an amplify on strike weapon that you can use in your Act 5 Merc, which caused us to go back to a car and reset our skills. So we transitioned a bit earlier than the original plan was. We wanted to transition around level 60, but we ended up doing it at level 51. But we had the right items for it, and that's what really matters. And when you choose to do so, you'll see I put like a point into Warmth, I put a point into Teleport, and the rest just go into Fire Mastery, Meteor, and the extra can go into Blaze, which is the most useful skill out of the free synergies. And for the most part, strength, you'll just put enough to wear the gear that you want to wear. Nothing too fancy since you're wearing gear from normal pretty much, and the rest just goes into vitality. You just want to be as tanky as you can. You can see we got that 800 life now without even like going through like hell difficulty yet, which is pretty nice. So once you do that, you have a few options, and I think you can either keep farming Eldritch and Shank that can drop a few items that are really cool, or something that I would really recommend is farming Nightmare Mephisto. He can drop Mage Fist for you, which could be a really nice upgrade. He can drop things like a Shaco already that could be awesome for you. A few other things like Rings, Raven Frost, things like that could definitely drop there already. So Nightmare Mephisto is a really nice target. You could farm him super easily with your Meteor. You could also go to Nightmare Sanctuary. Chaos Sanctuary, of course, I'm talking about. That's also a really nice target to farm. It would also give you some levels. And generally, you're trying to get to around level 60, in my opinion. That would be around where I'd like keep going. So you can do that, or you can just go to Baal and like start farming Baal waves. The negative of this, if you're playing solo, is that you're really losing on the value that the ancient quest on Nightmare is giving you, because it can really level you up like once you're like later in level. So what I did is I went to do some chaos. I killed some Mephisto just to get some gear, get some stuff going. You want to have like some stuff that you could trade, and look at this over here at the Nightmare Chaos. We drop a pair of water walks, and these will definitely be helpful for you in the first like day or two, especially if you plan on bossing, since these are pretty much the go-to for most classes in the Decloned fight. They can pretty much like carry your like maximum fire needs on day 1 to farm your own Annihilus. Over here you can see us killing Baal, and we did all of this in the same day. I didn't actually take a break. I just need to separate the videos into clearer segments, so we just kept going like this. This was about, I think, 4 hours and 50 minutes. Let me make sure. We finished Nightmare after 4 hours and 50 minutes. We went to finish Nightmare, and then we went into Hell. And we did that around level 60, I believe. Like, I don't think it was much higher than that. That was enough for us. You can see that, like, if we run into, like, any champ or elite packs, we go ahead, we smash them. It was pretty easy. Like, that's how you know you're doing good. And, of course, we have the amp to make sure our physical damage goes through, even if our fire damage is being ignored by some monsters. That was, like, the general approach. And, of course, that's what we're doing at all points. We go ahead and clear the den, and you pretty much want to cover all your like important quests as you go. Like, unless you're speedrunning, don't ignore these quests. I finally take the time to actually save Kane, which I haven't done in normal and Nightmare. And also make sure to keep up with your Merc. You do want him to stay alive, because the extra health he's giving me, I think, like 200 health or something like that. It's really worth it. So yeah, let's go ahead and save Kane. This is also a good opportunity to save Kane, because you do want to grab that Word Slag from Tristram. Farming cows on Sorceress is super useful. It's super nice. Some people already do it in Nightmare. That's another one of the spots that you can definitely farm on Nightmare if you already finished the quest and you don't want to continue to Hell. You feel like you still need an upgrade. You can see my resistances are a little bit low. So I'm like looking for pieces to kind of fix that at the time. Yeah, we save Kane, we kill some stuff, and we pick up the leg. After that, you can pretty much go to either do tower or you can go to kill Andariel. I skipped the tower at first. I just wanted to kind of go on and get the good experience, the good loot. Comes later in the game. You can see it works killing her a little bit slowly, but as long as you like run and throw the meatballs on her, she'll be going down in no time. Yeah, after this, we pretty much cleared all the areas. We did get this sick drop during clearing maggot lair. Getting a Vex rune super early can pretty much boost your start of the game. It can guarantee you like a set of like 4 to 6 skillers. Early on, like fire skillers for Sorceress, like at least in season 10, they were going between 5 to 10 Worldstone shards. So you can trade like a Vex rune for like 50 plus Worldstone shards early. Just grab yourself a ton of skillers that could really be a big boost. Or you could grab like specific items that you're looking for, maybe like a really good weapon or something like that that could really keep you going. Killing Duriel, he drops us El Animo. Now, this is another point where I have to give this tip. Personally, I didn't do it because we were looking to level up ourselves to level 80 and start mapping. But a lot of Sorceress stop during their first day. They stop at Duriel and they just farm him. He has this bug with him that gives him an insane loot table. If you kill him without finishing like the baal quest. So if you do want to do that, that's definitely an option. You shouldn't like skip on it or anything. It's definitely strong. So it's up to you if you want to like keep farming like the Duriel bug. Like there are like people who can explain about it on the Discord. I personally didn't do it, but it's a very viable way to make like riches. So pretty much at the point when you're in hell, you're already like you know, viable to farming like your riches. It's just not the path that I took in this like playthrough. So we continue, we talk to Tyrael and go ahead and kill Mephisto as well. Doing of course all the essential quests, getting like the extra attributes and the extra health. And you can see like our Merc, like since we keep him alive, he can tank for us pretty well. You pretty much just want to get like resistances and flat health on him, and like some life leech. And the weapon does the amp job, and that really works for us. Yeah, over here at Diablo, we keep him alive, he tanks for us, and you can see it's pretty like easy job for us to clear out all the act bosses. We do drop a rune sword that is of course the rabies weapon, the plague bearer, another thing that you can sell on the first day and trade it for maybe something that you could use. Maybe it's a mage fist, maybe it's just like a nice pair of boots, maybe it's just like some Worldstone shards you'll trade for a skiller. You can see there are a pair of lava gouts that we dropped on the way as well. So we were collecting all sorts of gear pieces as we were going, which was really nice. After that, we got to Shank and Eldrich again, and I don't know, personally, especially when we're playing online, like playing on ladder, farming Shank and Eldrich is just so easy to do, because you don't need to search for them. They're just there. It takes about 10 seconds, like 10 to 15 seconds, to get into a game, farm them, and get out. It's also a really good way to get experience. You'll see that they give a lot of experience if you kill them repeatedly. So if you're feeling behind either on experience or on gear, they're definitely very recommended. It's like a place where you can just farm and like repeat yourself like over and over. Yeah, you'll see that like the moment I get to them, we're level 71. That's what it took us getting through hell. And I personally set the players higher. Of course, online you can't do that. But it's mostly to show that even if you're playing in a game with other people, maybe they're running on the way to baal, you could still do this somewhat effectively. It takes us like I think 30 or 40 seconds to do this, which is about the time that it takes you to find like Mephisto and kill him, if you have like a map prepared. So really effective, tons of experience you can see that they give in just like 30 seconds. After this, we went ahead and killed baal. Just because like I wanted to finish the game, maybe do a round of cows. We were I think at level 79 at the time, where we went to kill him. Of course we could just like kill him earlier, but I just wanted to get a little bit more farm going. So the Ancients quest gives me like the most value that like I can get from it pretty much. Like the idea is to generally like, you know, just go ahead and farm as much as you can. And we drop a Decapitator. This is Hellslayer, of course, one of the prime weapons for shapeshifters. So amazing weapon, Decapitator, like unique Decapitator, Hellslayer. So another nice drop. And that was like the end of Hell, and that took us a total of 8 hours to do. I think it was 8 hours and 10 or 15 minutes that it took us to get to the end of Nightmare. And after that, we went to do like some cows. We leveled up to level 80, which was nice. And we were mostly looking for like good bases over here. Something that could be a huge upgrade for you during day one is finding a staff or like a shillelagh or something like that. Yeah, like a battle staff that has +3 to meteor or to fire mastery. Like any of those would be huge upgrade to your damage if you're gonna stay on meteor. But this is kind of like yeah, you can see meteor really works. We're still with the same like gear that we made like in normal and in nightmare, so nothing really changed. Still very viable. And that's kind of like the point where you have like a choice to make. You can either stay on meteor and farm on meteor, like farm act bosses is really effective, farm shank and eldrich is like effective. You can farm pindle. You can farm if you want to. You can do trap and call, but I don't think it was super effective. You can do cows. All these things are super good. Or you can respec. That's kind of like the point where there are different options that you can go towards. This is just a demonstration of us doing like Ubers on kind of day one, just to show how strong Meteor is. Technically, this would be after this isn't exactly SSF because I'm using like gear as if like I traded like my Vex rune or traded like other stuff. So we made this kind of like an example of us farming after doing some trades, but after getting to level 80, like we had access to all sorts of things. Like we had the Vex rune, we dropped like the lava gouts, we dropped like the weapons, we dropped a ton of wallstone shards, so we had all sorts of things that were like valuable, and I traded them in for like a couple of skillers to make sense of like the whole journey. You can see us like struggling to kill like Lilith. The mini Ubers were really difficult to kill, I'll be honest. Like it wasn't a walk in the park, as they say. I was told there are ways to bug like Andariel with like barrels, or you can like keep buying your mercenary to tank for you for like 3 or 4 meteors at a time, but then you run out of money. And we're just playing around, seeing like how well you can do against like Ubers. Ubers were definitely difficult, but we needed like a black soulstone for us to get like entry into Decloned, because we wanted to test our starter gear on Declone as well. Something that was really cool was that and I don't know, I thought it was really cool is to just take like your day one, right? Like the mage fist we found, the leaf that we made. This is not like a special +3 meteor leaf, it's just like a plain leaf that we made in normal. Peasant crown that we dropped, it's kind of like having a lore helm +1 to skills. We have the smoke that we made for the resistances, some PDR res belt that we dropped on the way, 2 half freeze rings that we had from the way. The amulet is just a crafted brilliance amulet with plus the sorceress skills and FCR, and the water walks that we dropped. So I thought it was cool to kind of use like the gear that we found and just try to make it work on the way there. Yeah, most things are not even slammed. This belt was amazing, had 100 flat life on it and 7 PDR, so I was really excited when I saw it. I was like, oh wow, that's like insane for a day one declone attempt. So that's pretty much the gear that we used, and we had like the torch that we get from the day one Ubers. Of course, if you are getting like a torch on day one, make sure to identify it. If it is a torch that is for your class, then awesome, use it. If not, trade it for a torch of your class. Like early on, there's a ton of people looking to trade torch for torch, just trying to get their own torch for their class. So find whoever needs it, ask in the general chat. Like people are asking all the time. Post it on the trade site, like looking for sorc torch or something like that, so you can have your own. And then we stayed on Meteor till the end of the day, of course, and we went to Declone. That was the last goal, to declone on a day one type of sorc. So we could have probably gotten a little bit more value in terms of what our charms were. Our charms were for the most part pretty bad, except for the skillers that we supposedly traded for our Vex rune and Worldstone shards. So this is like the only benefit we got from the things that we found. But after that, I figured we will just try, see if we can do it or not. I never done like the sorc declone like that with meteors, so I figured might as well try it and learn. And as I walked in, like you'll see that you trigger blaze to have like walk speed so you don't get caught by anything, and then you just drop meteors. I had to figure out and kind of get used to the spacing for meteors, like how far can I get from Declone without him having like invulnerability. But you can see we're doing quite a bit of damage. We only used one potion, we already summoned the skeleton wave. So this will definitely be covered in the bossing series for Sorceress, because wow, actually day one bosser I did not think Sorceress was that viable, but we're using pretty much like the gear we find like in mostly normal and nightmare to finish this. So I was very impressed with how well we're doing. So phase 1 cleared very fast. Like you'll see that sometimes I get way too far and I still drop meteors. It's just me not being used to whatever's happening. I didn't even notice that he's starting his Nova phase, so I had to hide in a different corner. But overall we're safe. We didn't use a lot of potions. Hopefully we can keep it up and not die. You'll also see that we have a lot of flat life. The reason we have a lot of flat life is because of that like water walks and having that like extra from the belt that gave us 100. Our gear doesn't require a lot of strength. I think we have like 60 strength or something like that. Peasant crown has like 1 ruby in it. I just bought like a malice, put like a socket in it, put a ruby inside. So as much flat life as you can get early on like really helps. If you find like a dwarf star on your first day from farming like Nightmare Mephisto or something, or Endariel, that's also a huge boost, so you can do that. And again, this is not like you don't have to do this, but being able to farm your own Annie and your own torch basically saves you a lot of currency, because the materials for it are easily self-farmable for you. Otherwise they cost like a lot less than what it would cost to like buy the full Annihilus. So like the materials cost for about, I think like a total of a ghoul rune maybe early on. That's from vaguely what I remember. If you farm your own torch, you get a BSS. If you farm your own pest, which we did while we were farming other items, like when we're farming Hell Mephisto and Hell like Diablo. So when we were doing that, we were getting our pests anyway, and I think we even found several pests while farming Nightmare Diablo. So we had both of those, and PDEs are worth like a mal, I think, early on, mal to an Istrun. So if you don't want to farm mess, but as a meteor sorceress, you can just hop into a map, run to the boss, kill them, and just leave and ignore everything else. So yeah, super viable and fast, like a declone farmer for day 1. And you can see, again, we're staying relatively fast. We're also getting incredible XP here. We already got 37% in this like map alone, like in this session alone of Declone. You'll see we're trying to do like ring around the rosy with the pillars, make him kind of like get stuck on them, and then we just drop meatballs on him. Sadly, I was like miscalculating the distance from Declone a lot. I'm not used to ranged builds in this fight. But yeah, we keep trying to like drop meatballs on him and just stay close to him. Sadly, he keeps spamming the lightning, so it's really hard to stay close. But as long as you like stay healthy, right, you have a lot of potions to spare. Yeah, we finally trigger the 3rd phase, and I just teleport away so I don't get stuck in like hit recovery. Hit recovery is definitely a downside of early game for Sorceress. It feels sometimes really difficult to get around. We do level up during the fight. I'm pretty sure I even like upgrade the skill points while doing the fight. But yeah, this fight may look really slow, but actually it only takes, we've only been in there for like 3 minutes so far, which is pretty normal time for like early game fights. Like some builds, like the not Fist of Heaven, like Holy Bolt Paladin, here we go, upgrading ourselves during the fight. Like Holy Bolt Paladin and like the poison builds, like the Poison Summoner, are way slower. Doing this with Summoner Druid on day 1 was faster, just because Summon Druid is like really strong in this kind of fight. With the bears just doing incredible damage, and the like crows doing also really big damage. But for Sorceress, I think most people would be surprised that you can do this like with such gear on day 1. So I was pretty surprised. At least I was really happy with the results. And you can see we have so much potions. We already finished all the skeleton phases. That's the final Nova phase. So we're pretty much ready to go and finish the fight. And a few more meatballs to go. Kind of thinking of like what I want to do on day 2. Remember, this is still day 1 for me. I figured that most people on day 2 will want to respect the build that they want to play. So the plan for day 2 was to try a ton of different builds and see what's viable with what kind of gear. And mostly like the idea was that on day 2 we'll get a full Tal Rasha. So build like the full set and basically run with like basic Tal Rasha set with some skillers maybe that you can get, like something that would be equal to value that you can get on day 1, like the day that we farmed. So that's what we're gonna do on day 2. We got our declone kill on day 1 with the meteor sorc. That was really fun. And on day 2 or in part 3 of the series, we will cover pretty much like a day 2 experience for a sorc that gets Tal Rasha set. So what builds are viable, how viable they are, what maps they can farm, what areas they can farm, and hopefully you guys look forward to that video that'll come out tomorrow. With that said, hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions on what you can do otherwise in day 1 of your ladder reset on the Sorceress, feel free to ask. This was my first time trying this kind of thing on Sorceress. I never did it before, but I didn't find it difficult. And yeah, I hope this was helpful to you guys. With that said, I'll see you on the next video or in the next stream. Until then, bye.